But I was thinking about it because it's a holiday, and Monday is usually the day that I get my shot. Every other Monday, I usually go first thing in the morning to the injection clinic at my doctor's office, and of course it's a holiday, so I can't go today because the clinic is closed. So I'll go tomorrow, and hopefully that'll go all right. It makes me wonder if I'm gonna have to start going on Tuesdays because it's supposed to be every other week. So I'll have to ask the nurse that. I really don't want to go on Tuesdays because it's a lot easier for me to go Monday morning first thing because I don't tend to have meetings or anything like that Monday morning for my job, so I can be a little bit late. Um, so I'll get my 5th shot tomorrow, and like I said in my other video, it should be up to 75 milligrams. So I'll give an update and let y'all know how that goes. But with it being a holiday, I was also just thinking about family stuff. I know I mentioned before that I haven't really told anybody in my family about my trans status, and so I have a lot to think about there. Um, what's happened is that I've actually told someone who is kind of I don't want to say stepmom, but someone in my life that I really look up to, and she's someone that my mom was friends with for a long time, and I just grew up, and this friend was kind of the person that I went to for things when I couldn't go to my mom. So I've actually told her, and she's really cool, and unfortunately, she doesn't live close by. I wish she did because I miss her a lot, but she was very receptive, and we talked a lot about how I should tell my mom and what I should do, so it was helpful to talk to her. But I do need to talk to my mom, and I'm still thinking about what I'm going to do as far as my grandparents are concerned. My paternal grandparents have both passed away, but my maternal grandparents are both still living, and they're in their 90s, so that's pretty cool. They're doing really well, and they still have their own house and have a big yard and garden and all that. So, they do well, and they took it okay when I told them that I was gay, so, they were fine with that. Sometimes I think as you get older, maybe you just mellow out about things and you don't, I don't know, fret about stuff as much, or maybe you've just seen so much that it just kind of, it doesn't faze you. But this, I think, is a little different. I don't know how they would react to that. They are used to me being butch. They've never said anything, once I came out and all of that. They never had a problem. But this, I'm sure, will be something completely different for them to think about. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. But I definitely have to tell my mom before, I tell my grandparents, and that's something that I've been thinking a lot about. She's actually going to come out here for a visit, and for Mother's Day, I bought her a plane ticket to come out and visit for like a long weekend. So she's going to be here middle of June, and that's my plan, is to tell her at some point in time during that visit. What I'm going to do is rent like a beach house up north, and take her for a week away at the ocean. And so I think that'll be cool. She doesn't really like big cities. They kind of make her overwhelmed. And, she grew up in the Midwest, and, Kansas City's about the biggest city she's used to, and it's not that big. So, and she lives kind of out a little more rural, so too much time in the city really kind of doesn't do so good by her. So I thought it would be good to get out of here for a while and just do a long weekend and, go rent a house or something up by the ocean. So I'm going to do that, and that'll give us time where it's my mom and I just to talk about stuff, and I can tell her. And, I mean, I'm not worried that she's going to, like, I don't know, reject me or anything. I don't want to hurt her feelings, but I think that's kind of inevitable. My mom's actually a lot better than she used to be just around me being butch. She, for years when I was growing up, she'd make comments about it, and anytime somebody would call me sir when we were out, she would have a big problem. There was one time I remember that, I don't know, we were going someplace, and I went, she picked me up from somewhere, and I had on jeans and a sweater and got in her car, and she was like, what are you, a boy or a girl today? And that's really stuck with me, and I think I was a teenager. I'm like 35 now. So it's just something that I worry about. I think that, she does really well with the side of it now, but she just, sees me as Suzanne, which is my given name, and, she sees me as female. So this will be interesting to approach this with her and see. So if any of you have told your parents yet, I'd be interested if you have any thoughts or suggestions or things that worked for you, or anything. It'd be, good to hear. The other thing, I haven't really mentioned my dad in these videos, and the reason for that is because he's no longer living. My dad died in 2002. Basically, he had like a massive heart attack and was just like gone instantly. And he was actually the person I would usually go to if I had problems. My parents were divorced, and I live with my dad. And in a lot of ways, I very much like my dad, and we were kind of, I don't know, we just processed things the same way, so I would go to him when I had problems with stuff, a little more so than I would my mom. And, I don't obviously have to tell him, but I think about that, and I think, I don't know how he would take it. He took it really hard when I told him I was gay, and for a while it was really rough, but he got over that, and, I remember like there was a Father's Day that we hadn't been speaking and it was really bad, and I got him a Father's Day gift and just stopped by his house, and I didn't think he was going to be home because it was like early Sunday morning and I thought he'd be at church or something, so I was just going to drop it by. But he was there, and we had this really good talk. He started crying and stuff, and we kind of made up, so that was really cool. And I was like in my, I don't know, early 20s at that point. So, I'd like to think that if he was around today, he would have been able to come around and be okay with it, but I don't know, and I'll never know. But I don't know. That's one thing, I don't have to think about telling him at the moment, but I wonder how he would have reacted. But I do, like I said, have to tell my mom. So I've just been thinking about that a lot since her visit's coming up here in a couple of weeks. So I guess more on that later, and I'll let you know how that goes. So yeah, just in other news, like I said, it's a day off. We're going to have some friends over, and I'm going to do a barbecue thing today. So that should be fun. About 7 or 8 people coming over to do a barbecue and making some ribs. I'm interested to see how that goes with the pronoun thing. My partner, she still kind of struggles with it. She tries really hard, and, sometimes she'll be like, he, doing really good, and then just all of a sudden she'll say she. So, it's not that she's trying to be disrespectful or anything. It's just 4 years of knowing me and saying she. It's something that, takes some time to get used to. And it's the same thing with, my friends that are going to be there. They are all working on it as well. So if we get them all together at one time, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. The other thing, I have a neighbor who, he's kind of funny. We've actually become friends. And, he's on disability because of health reasons, and, he's kind of the little hermit guy that lives next door, but he's really sweet, and he takes care of my pets when we go out of town. And, he was over one time, and I had another friend at the time, and she referred to me as he, and he was like, what? So I had to explain to him, and he didn't take it very well at all. He was like, made some comment about why would I want to do that to myself, and why can't I just accept myself how I am. And, he had made this comment about how he thinks that all female to male folks who are transsexual look just like women with beards. And I was just really offended and told him that I was really pissed off, and I haven't really talked to him since. So I don't know what to do, because we had, kind of gotten to a point where we're hanging out, and he's, had been a nice guy. So then yesterday I saw him, and I was like, I didn't really go into it, but I was like, hey, I'm going to barbecue. And he was like, oh, you're going to make those baked beans I like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah. And he's all acting like he's all friends and everything. And, I don't know what to do with that, because, I'd like to be his friend, but he was totally kind of a jerk. So I got to think about that. But anyway, so I don't know whether I should invite him or go talk to him or what. I don't really want to get into all that with him today. But I don't know. He was nice to me, and that was like the first time he'd really talked to me much since I told him. So I don't know what's going on there, if he's just being nice to me because he knows I'm going to barbecue later. Anyway, that's kind of what's going on here. So I'm going to stop this video because I think I'm actually over time, so I'm going to edit some of this out. Anyway, going to stop this video. Hope that you have a good day, and I'll catch up.